Hello, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to do a long ride up here in Cuyuna. I'm not sure what trails I'm going to take. I'll talk a little bit about it along the way. I'm not going to wear any cameras. I'm just going to do this kind of update at certain stopping points. The idea of me doing this long ride is tomorrow, not tomorrow, next weekend. It'd be funny if it was tomorrow. Is the Chequamegon 40, and I want to do a long ride and kind of train for it. And then early this coming week, I will do a couple of rides on Zwift, or I'll hit a trail, one or the other, depending on weather and all that. And so the idea is just kind of ramping up to really make sure I'm fit. I did have COVID not too long ago, so I'm not 100% sure how this is going to go. This will be a good test today. I have pushed myself pretty hard on Zwift. I did do a 3,800 mile, not mile, oh my God, that would also be ridiculous. 3,800 foot climb on Zwift. They call it Alp de Zwift or something like that. But it's just a bunch of climbing to get to the top. I did that just to really force myself, and there you have it, my cough. Force myself to work really hard and just trying to ramp myself up. Chequamegon doesn't have any long sustained climbs like that, but it definitely has a couple of long climbs and a lot of punchy rolling climbs and things like that. So there is a lot of climbing, but I think throughout the entire 40 miles, the final result is, I think, right around 3,500, 3,800, somewhere similar. So it is what it is. So I'm gonna ride my Esker Hayward tie with the carbon wheels, aluminum spoke nipples. I mean, this bike's pretty decked out, at least for me. I never really have had like higher end stuff. I know there's more higher end components I could put on this bike, but I really like it. It's pretty light. It's fast. It's it just rips. Like when I pedal it, it just wants to go. I love it. That's part of the fact is it's a hardtail. But I'm gonna ride this in the race next week, so I might as well use it for training too. So I'm gonna ride that bike, enjoy this ride. I'm not gonna push myself super hard. I'm gonna kind of, probably push myself a little bit. I want to hit some of the bigger climbs along the way, things like that. I will definitely do Crusher. That's the biggest climb and gnarliest climb. So yeah, we'll see. And I'm starting from here. I want to try to get close to 30 miles. I don't know if I can do it. We will see. 30 miles, it's going to be about 3 hours or so if I average around 9-10 miles per hour. We'll see. All right, let's get on the trail. Okay, I'm just leaving the Sagamore unit. I only did the part of Klondike from my property to the trailhead. Then I did a quick copper nugget, short loop, and then I'm off to the MRT trail, which is that sign right there. Minnesota Rails to Trails, and that trail is paved. It's about 2 miles to get me to what's called Galloping Goose. Galloping Goose takes me to the north side of that lake, and that's where all the big climbing trails are. So I'm going to try to hit a bunch of those. Mucker Mountain, Sandhog Mountain, they're not really mountains, but and Roly Poly, then Crusher. And then from Crusher, I'll probably do switchbacks, and we'll see if I keep going out and adding to this ride. That's what's nice, is all these loops are kind of stacked, and I can go as far as I want out, knowing that my way back is pretty direct. Even if I take single track, there's not a lot of offshoots and stuff. So that's my plan. On the road right now, but right up here ahead of me is the trailhead to the paved trail that will take me to Galloping Goose. So I always forget the name of this trail. It's called Cuyuna something, Cuyuna Regional Trail or something like that. But it's part of the Minnesota Rails to Trails stuff. All right. Yep. Oh, Cuyuna Lakes State Trail is what it's called. So there you have it. Okay, on to Galloping Goose. Maybe my next stop will be at one of the overlooks. Maybe Mucker Mountain or one of the other ones. Okay, I am at the overlook on Mucker Mountain. I believe this is the top, although I feel like you get a little higher over there and you come down to this platform a little bit. But this is the overlook. There's a lot of growth, so you can't really see as much like you can like in the spring or something before all the leaves grow in. But this is the whole lake. Galloping Goose goes all the way around the lake, and then and it's down there closer to the water if I was to just stay on Galloping Goose. And then there's all these extra offshoots like this one, which is called Mucker Mountain. Then there's Sandhog Mountain, which I believe is next, then Roly Poly, and then I do Crusher. What's kind of wild is I'm looking at my Garmin and I feel like I've done a lot of climbing already, but I've only done 361 feet according to this. My distance right now is 7.69, so not quite 10 miles. My Garmin, the time's gonna be off because it just keeps going. What's cool about Strava is because I stopped here to do this video, it will only calculate moving time, which I like. So speaking of stopping, something that I'm learning, and Zwift has taught me a lot. One of the things Zwift has taught me is energy management. Energy management is like making sure I have enough goo packets and have a mixed drink of some type. There's Noon. I've tried Scratch. I've tried a few things. I really like Scratch, actually, believe it or not. It's my favorite. But having a mixed drink with electrolytes and that stuff in it, as well as water. So I've learned how to like intake this stuff and to take goo packets like every 30 minutes and stuff. And Zwift, being there in that controlled environment and being able to make sure I follow all these things is something I'm going to start applying more to my racing events, because I do a very poor job of managing energy when I'm doing the Filthy 50, the Chequamegon 40, the Meesville 56, which I do in the spring, and things like that. So yeah, I'm gonna work on that because I think I'll do better at these events. And that means it's okay to stop and take a short break. And I also learned that on Zwift. And I learned this just last week. I had a mechanical, literally in the middle of this massive climb. I had a mechanical and I was suffering on the climb. I had just made it past the halfway mark. Fixed the mechanical. It took me about 10 minutes to fix the mechanical. I got back on my bike and I started going. I took a goo pack, things like that. In the whole last half of the climb, I had more wattage, more power, more strength, and I felt better because I took that break. Probably don't want to take a 10-minute break, but at least a little break, and maybe a couple of them, just to let my body rejuvenate, and then I can get going again. So we'll see how I do the Chequamegon 40. Last year, I started really suffering the last 10 miles because I was really pushing myself and I wasn't doing very good energy management, and I blew through all the rest stops. I think I grabbed an energy drink once. So I got to do a better job with that stuff. I used to cross-country ski race, and I did a lot better at energy management back then. I don't know if I just forget. So anyway, having fun. Just, not really going for any speeds or records on this ride. Just trying to do my thing and ride and get in some distance. All right, keep going. Okay, I just got done climbing Crusher. Ran into a bunch of people who called out my name, and they know me from my YouTube channel, so I got some fans. So that's kind of cool. So I talked to them for a little bit. This is the overlook. This is called Miners Mountain, and it is pretty amazing up here. So yeah, that's pretty rad. I came from way over that way. That's where my property is. That's where the Sagamore unit is, way over there. And then if you look at that water tower, that's Crosby. I believe that's the north base north, something like that, camp, and so on and so forth. So this is pretty awesome. A few picnic tables. Got my bike sitting right there. So I really love this bike. It's light, it's fast, quick, snappy, although I talk about that all the time. Guess when you like something, you like to brag about it. And I want to cough because I just got done climbing that beast. So let's look at my stats. 12.84 miles, so not quite 13 miles. 963 feet of climbing. Been riding for about an hour and a half, although stopping and talking to those people, stopping and doing these little videos. So I won't know until I look at Strava, because Strava will do only my moving time, what my moving time looks like. But yeah, my elevation that I'm at is 1420, so not super high to some people in the world that might be at much higher elevations, but it's kind of interesting to know. All right, I'm gonna keep going. I think I'm gonna get down to the bottom of the hill. I'm gonna at least do switchbacks. I think once I get to about 15 miles going out, or a little over that, I'm gonna start heading back, because then when I get back to Sagamore, I'm gonna finish off Klondike and then do Syracuse, which I know is 3 miles, and then finish up my ride. Cool. Okay, so I'm here. This is Klondike behind me, and this trail in front of me is Syracuse. So I'm almost done. I got about, I believe Syracuse is close to 3 miles. So my numbers are going to look pretty good. Right now I'm at 22.31 for distance, and I wanted to hit anywhere between 25 and 30, so I'll probably get right around 25. Total ascent so far is 1417. I was hoping to get to 15. I don't know if Syracuse has enough climbing for me to get there. Maybe it does though. So cool. And I'm at 2 hours and 40 minutes of time. That's including the stops and running into those people and so on and so forth. So it'll be interesting. We'll check Strava so we can see my moving time. And again, I haven't been pushing super hard. I've been going an okay clip, but I'm gonna say I've probably been averaging between 9 and 10 miles per hour. Chequamegon, it's pretty open, and ideally I would like to average 12 to 13 miles per hour. Maybe even if I could go over 13, that'd be great. It's gonna depend completely on weather, the conditions, all that stuff. But in order to have that kind of speed, I got to push it, but it isn't as technical. So some of the riding I've been doing is very technical. Lots of little rocks, trying to get around, single track and stuff like that. Chequamegon is nothing like that. It's a big old wide double track or fire road. So you can definitely have a much higher speed on that course. So let's go ahead and finish out this ride and see what the final numbers are. Okay, I'm back. Got my bubbly here. A couple of oranges, some salty chips, because salt is always a good thing to have when you deplete yourself like that. So the results were I was just a hair under 25 miles. So I was at like 24.8 miles. I did make it over 1,500 feet of climbing, which is good. I think I got closer to 1,600 feet. And my moving time was 2 hours and 36 minutes. So that's not bad. My average speed was moving, and this is using the Strava moving time, was 9.5 miles per hour. So I'm happy with that. I didn't push myself super hard. I was going at a pretty, kind of I wouldn't say casual pace. I mean, that's kind of ridiculous. I was going. I mean, people, nobody passed me, right? Let's just say that. But I was, but I wasn't like pushing, like to just give it everything I got and just depleting myself. I was just kind of finding that nice pace that I knew I could go a long distance with. I did push pretty hard on the climbing bits because that's the part I really wanted to work on. And, I'm glad I did Crusher. And it's interesting because Crusher didn't feel that bad. Like, I mean, yeah, it's hard, but it wasn't like just, super challenging. Oh my God, I can't make it up this, whatever. So that's a good sign. So I'm really hoping when I'm doing the Chequamegon, there's a couple of, pretty decent climbs. And in the last 10 miles, and that's what I need to plan for, it just is pretty brutal. So I want to make sure I have enough energy and enough go in that last 10 miles where I can at least keep my pace up. Because last year, I think that last 10 miles was where I lost a lot of my time because I slowed way down because I was just wasted. So my plan this year, stay pretty consistent throughout the course and try not to suffer for that last 10 miles. That's my goal anyway. We'll see what happens. Probably gonna hit, I might do cyclocross on Tuesday. That would be kind of cool, and if I do, I should probably film some of it. So cyclocross season is starting. That would be a good, heavy workout too. And then I'll probably hit the trainer and do like a longer ride on the trainer. And then I need like at least a day off before Saturday, so I won't do anything Friday, but I'll be traveling Friday to get there. So it makes sense that I wouldn't be training on Friday. So cool. There you have it. That was my training ride. No like action footage today, just me updating you on this. I've done this before, like last year. So I really appreciate your support for my channel. I do like running into fans out on the trail. It's kind of cool. They yell my name. Sometimes I get excited that they meet me in person and stuff like that. That's kind of cool. And I appreciate the support that I get from them. Peace.